is that? Is that?
It's the vocal cords. So this is the larynx, and these are the vocal cords. So when the air comes out, it closes and opens, and it vibrates, kind of like guitar strings, right? So that is just so you guys know what your inside looks like. Okay, next slide.
Wait, how can I go to the next slide? Wait, because it's kind of.
Okay, so how do we take care of our vocal cords? How do we take care of our vocal cords and our larynx? Number one, stay hydrated, okay? Not just with sugary, sweet drinks, whatever. It's water, okay? Stay hydrated with water. Get proper sleep, okay? And this is connected to the other things I'll be saying too. No sweets or cold drinks right before singing or avoid it in the week before.
Week before?
Yeah, this is just best practice. This is just best practice, right? So let's say you have another build conference. Then maybe the week before, and you're going to be singing, let's say, 6 songs. That's a lot, right? And you want to make sure your voice will last, right? Maybe you can sing 1 song, but 6 songs, you need the stamina, right? You need the endurance. So one good idea would be no sweets or cold drinks. So like warm water, hot water, tea. That way, you're making sure that your vocal cords are rested and warmed up. Also, getting proper sleep really affects your singing as well.
Yes.
Next slide. So we're not going to do this one, but I think it's there on. I'll send the video.
Okay.
But anyway, it's okay. Next one. So face and neck muscles. So our face and neck muscles, our jaw muscles, even our nose area, our nasal area, our tongue, which is a muscle, affect our singing, as well as our neck. These muscles pull on our face and our jaw and even our skull, and so therefore they compress the vocal cords and they affect our voice. So next slide. So this is the jaw muscle. If it's tense, right, imagine it's going to be harder to sing with ease, right? Next slide. We also have, these other muscles, they're all connected, right, to our face, our skull. And so if these are all tense or you have stiff neck, it's going to be difficult to control your voice, or you might have a harder time. Right? You have the next slide. Yes, the neck muscles, they pull on our face. So this is the tongue, and it goes pretty way back, right? And so depending on our tongue placement, our voice is going to sound different.
Yes.
Let's say our tongue is not well rested, or it's too tense. If our muscle is too tense, then the sound won't come out properly. It's going to sound different. And so, next slide. What exercises can we do to relax our muscles before we sing and relax our tongue? So some of the normal exercises would be neck exercise, where you pull your head. Yeah, so you guys can follow me. We can do them together. So of course, since Toby goes to the gym, Aaron knows how to stretch the upper muscles. And then also down to the side. So you're basically trying to stretch the muscles and loosen them up. Especially in the morning, if you're going to sing on a Sunday morning, you just woke up. So you can stretch your arms as well. Another one to stretch in a way see now Jim's yawning. The shoulder muscles and the chest muscles. If you want more muscle stretch, you just ask Toby. And then for the tongue, what you can do is, you know how you can do lip trills, right?
Yes.
Instead of doing that, you do it with the tongue. So you might spit on someone while you're doing it. Yeah. So instead of so lip trills, right? You sing a song, you hum the song while going like, right? That's one exercise for breathing. That's more for breathing, but also, loosening up the lips. But you can also do it with your tongue to loosen the tongue. So, I know, it looks weird. So you put your tongue out, you put your tongue between your lips, and then you like blow air. Okay, so anyway, it's something you can learn, okay? But I noticed that when I can't do that, it's because my tongue is too tense. Because in order to do that, you need to loosen your tongue. Your tongue has to be, yeah, like that. But you can keep trying. It's kind of like whistling, I guess. But that's one way to loosen your tongue. Other people, they actually hold their tongue with tissue or something and just pull it to the side, whatever, just to loosen it. It's a muscle, guys. And that's something I learned recently, and it does help. Yeah. So you get tissue, you just pull it to the side, pull it to the front. And that is one way. Okay, next slide. Breathing. Diaphragm breathing. So our diaphragm is right under our ribs and helps us to breathe in and out. We also have a bunch of other accessory muscles that help with breathing. And this is something that I still struggle with because when you're nervous, it's harder to breathe. And harder to hold in your breath and get more breathing. So, next slide. Right, so the diaphragm is right about here. When we breathe in deeply, instead of, right, because sometimes when we breathe with a bigger chest, right? We're like, right. But diaphragm breathing is belly goes out.
Yes.
Okay. And then breathing, exhaling, your belly goes in. Basically, you're just kind of trying to create as much space as possible for your lungs to open up. So one exercise, which I don't think you can really do it here, but you can lay down and put a book on your stomach. And when you breathe in, the book should go up. So you can try it at home.
I see.
Okay. There's also a lot of other accessory muscles, but this is, one of the major big ones. Okay, next slide. Breathing from diaphragm improves range, quality, and expression. So when we don't breathe well enough, then we can resort to straining our voice, which leads to muscle tension. Because how do we have a voice? We have air. It's the air that comes out. So if we don't have any air, then nothing's going to come out. Or we're going to be running on no air, which will damage our vocals. So especially with something like build conference, right, you need to prepare yourself. Because when you're there, you don't realize that you're going to be jumping and you're going to be running around and stuff.
Yeah.
And then by the time it's your turn to lead the song, you're too tired and you can't do it.
Yes. I've experienced that before.
That's what happened to me at the discipleship conference with Have All of Me. I was so out of breath. Because we just did the Wonderstruck, right? We did Wonderstruck, and now it's my turn to lead Have All of Me, and I was like
but it's still good though.
Well, because we also redid some parts, but I was praying. I was like, Lord, help me, because I was like, so it was really tough. But I prepared, so it could have been worse. So imagine if I hadn't prepared, it would have been even more worse. So the amount of air we release as we sing will affect everything. So when we don't breathe, we will resort to straining our voice. Okay, next. So for exercise 3, it's the book thing, okay? So when you go home, you can try it. Basically, you lay down flat, okay? Then you put a book or a piece of paper on your stomach. So when you inhale, the book goes up.
Yes.
When you exhale, your stomach goes in.
Yeah, I noticed that. And I wondered before. When we inhale, it's when we exhale, it's like.
Yeah, so instead of just going, you want to focus on here. And breathing helps us calm down. Right, okay, next. So, brain, mind, anxiety and stage fright. This is very common. I still struggle with this, and I think, everyone it will get better over time, right? But it's still like, how do you face it, right? Let's say, once again, build conference, you're super nervous. You have to lead a lot of songs, there's a lot of people. It doesn't feel like a normal Sunday, right? Or even on a Sunday, you can still feel really nervous. And so it's all connected, right? Our brain, our mind, our thoughts. So of course, besides, praying and speaking in tongues, how can we remove the anxiety? So next slide. When we are nervous and anxious, we can become tense, right? Our muscles get tense. We need to relax the muscles and release the tension to allow for better vocal control. I notice that when I'm nervous, my voice gets shaky, right? Because like my whole body is, shaking. And so, of course, the neck and shoulder exercises that we did earlier, you can do them. I suggest you do them just to loosen up. The tongue trills, the lip trills, and then also one way to release the anxiety is also shaking your hands, humming, singing the song itself. You can also, go put your shoulders up, go down. I mean, obviously you don't want to get out of breath where like you're doing too many exercises, but just basically body movements. Sometimes I walk around while I pray. That way I let the energy out. Because anxiety is also stage fright, right? Is when your body is like, do I run away? Do I attack? You know what I mean? That's what your body is on, the mode. And so it's energy. So you need to let it out. Shaking your hands for like a minute or two will help, and also like moving your shoulders. Yeah, doing a little dance might help. Okay, next slide. Yeah, so exercise number 4, I'll just send it to you. It was something else. Okay. So yeah, now we're to any questions? Any questions with the larynx, the exercises? Nothing? Okay.